What's up, guys? Okay, so this time of year I get a lot of questions about kayaks and what kind of kayak do I recommend. So in this video I wanted to show you my kayak fishing machine that I got for just about 200 bucks. My Hobie Quest 13. I want to show you that yes, it can be done. You can get an awesome kayak to fish out of for about 200 bucks, 250 bucks, and you're out the door and you can fish for anything. I fished with this thing all over the place, big water, small water, and I can even stand up in it. So I want to show you how to do it and what to look for and how you can set up to get on the water cheaply. So here we go, guys. So, to walk you through this is a Hobie Quest 13 right here. About 2 years ago, I wanted a second kayak to take friends out on because you can see I got a Hobie Outback right here. You know, sometimes you don't want to buy two fancy kayaks and have like $3,000 in kayaks. I wanted something cheap that was efficient and that could ride on top of my truck. I could follow behind Samantha in it, that was fast, it was nimble, it would cut the water, and if it got stolen, I wouldn't cry. So I was looking for a workhorse, I was looking for something that would just kind of fit that mold. So the first thing I always say when picking a kayak, is, one, you want it 13 feet long because it'll handle most types of water, it'll handle the wind, and it'll cut through the break, and it's versatile, not too long, not too short. 13 feet. This one is 13 feet. The next thing I always talk about is you need something with a pointy tip. Because why? You're cutting water. Has to cut through the water, has to cut through the break. You want the water to wash around you, over you, but not swamp you and have to push through water. You want to cut through it. So with that being said, I kind of narrowed down the models that I wanted to look for. I wanted something, an older model. Why? Because it's going to be cheap. Two, I knew it was going to work because those models have been around for a long time and a lot of people have used them. And I figured somebody had one sitting on the side of their house or in their garage that they don't use and I could get cheap. I really feel like the kayak fishing world has gotten a little too technical. It's gotten rid of its surfboard roots. You know what, I like to think of kayak fishing or kayaking as like surfing, right? You kind of need a board for bunch of different things. You need 2 boards, 3 boards, one for each type of water. And this one is kind of generic and it'll handle a lot of different types of water. Because in the old days, you had to make your own stuff. There was no Yak Attack or there was no Scotty Railblazer. It was PVC pipe, glue guns, and zip ties. Those are what made your kayak fishing setup. So every time I see a kayak getting really expensive and bigger and longer and heavier, I think, we've lost our roots in kayak fishing, guys. What happened to cheap and just getting it done and just getting on the water? That's what I got this one for. So I really don't want people to get discouraged about getting on the water because they can't afford a $1,000 kayak. I want the young guys to be able to get in the sport. I want them to have fun. I don't want them to feel like judgmental or peer pressured into, oh, I can't show off my kayak. Hey man, this is our rides. Like yeah, I got an expensive kayak, but I use this yellow one probably just as much. Because I've probably used this yellow kayak more than my actual Outback in the last year. Why? Because it's easy to use. It's light, it's cheap, and it gets me on the water. I can throw it on top of the truck, drive all day, get it down. It weighs like, I think like 50 pounds. I don't even think it weighs, I think it weighs 40 pounds. So that means I can roof rack it, I can throw it in and out of the garage, I can carry it with one hand, I don't have to have a cart. And that's what kayak fishing used to be, is just easy, efficient, in the water and gone. And we've kind of gotten into these big boats. Okay, so back to the cheap kayak. Okay, so when you're wanting to get a cheap kayak, all right, so the first thing you need to do is find the kayak. Look on Craigslist. Look on Facebook Marketplace and you'll see these type of kayaks. Look, it's got the old school seat, plenty comfy. It's got the foot pedals. You can even put a rudder on it. This was a $1,000 kayak at one time, but this is a 2006 model. It's pretty old. Still doing work though. So here's what I got. I got my crate right here. I'm going to do another video on that later. I got my fish grips. I got a little place to hang some extra tackle. So this is a DIY like rod leash right here. This is from a surfboard. It's from an old boogie board. When you come through the break, you leash it right there. Bam, whammo. Okay, I got random stuff in the back here. I got water, lures, hooks, random light, some gloves right here. Boom, all stuck together. It means they've been used. This is the paddle that came with it. Just a cheap aluminum paddle right there. A little heavy, but cheap and efficient. And I got a cheap life vest right here. You can get these for like 30 bucks at Academy. It'll work. No pockets though. That's an expensive one. This is a cheap one. I used this one for years. Still working. And it's just got some rope handles, front and back, and it's ready to go. It's got a hatch with nothing special underneath there, 2 storage devices, 2 rod holders, rock and roll, baby. Also, if you're looking to add like a cooler or a fish bag, just go get you like a 50-cent like run-of-the-mill yard sale version. Bags about this big. It'll keep your bait and it'll fit everything up to about a slot redfish. This is what I keep my bait in right here. I just throw the fish in there. Samantha says it has to stay outside because it smells like fish. I have no idea what that is in there. I don't know. Samantha says it smells like fish. It does. It's mildewy, but it works. Works for bait. Now, if you want to go offshore and you want to get a fish bag, you can get a native one or whatever. Those are cool too. Or you can just stick them in the hatch. That'll work for a couple hours. But if it's in the middle of the day, I don't suggest that. I've actually done it in that yellow kayak. And sometimes I just throw them in the back. But you just got to get weird with that one. So in closing, guys, I want you to know that you can get a good kayak at a reasonable price, secondhand, and that first person actually got rid of the depreciation for you. This one's going to hold its value, and I bet I could sell it tomorrow and get my money back. Now, when you're trying to get a used kayak, try to get a name brand one that you've seen people use, and that way you know that it works. Try to find one that a YouTuber like has been using in a lot of those scenarios that you've been wanting to fish in, and you know it'll work in those scenarios. Basically, all the kayaks you see today copied these exact same models in some way, shape, or form, and then that's what they launched their product line on. Hobie had this one right a long time ago. It's fast, it's pretty stable, 350-pound weight capacity, which is pretty good, and you can do just about any type of fishing in this. 13 feet long, slender, paddles well. It's pretty fast. It's faster than that Outback. Now, other types of kayak models to look for, you could probably get pretty cheap. Ocean Kayak Prowler 13, the old Scuppers, the Perception Pescadors, those are just the old wilderness models. Look for those type models and you can find deals. Remember, 13 feet, I try to hammer that a lot because you'll be able to fish on anything. Still fits on top of your truck and still fits in the garage over here. So this is my $200 kayak fishing setup that I'm going to use a lot this year, and you've seen me catch a lot of big king mackerel out of it. For paddling through the break, if I roll it, it's easy to flip back over. It's not a boat that you can't get back in. If I roll this, I'm getting back on it because I'm taking very little gear out there, and I'm rocking and rolling. I'm back into it. So that's what I wanted to talk about in this video, guys. Comment down below if you've gotten a cheap kayak off Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace and what kind of deals you found. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Don't forget to follow me on jack.motley, Instagram, Facebook. I'll see you later.
If you want to, I'll get you flowers waiting around the bend. Baby, let's just pretend. I wanna stay like this forever. I wanna stay right here with you. I wanna stay right here with you. As the rest we fall until it all breaks down. But I need it so I will stay around. When you're all messed up, it's a great relief to be understood. It's a shame still waters run deep. So let us walk right into the forest.
Look at
rising sun. It is something we can't outrun.
Very good.